This was a really great discussion, robust discussion. Just to summarize some of the things that we discussed, privacy and data ethics is continuing to evolve. We've outlined today the certain areas where privacy does not meet all the needs to reduce harm. We talked about, for example, the supply chain of data and how the right to be forgotten cannot be applied when the data is already resold. And we talked about some of the ethical challenges in showing consent, in gathering the data, in knowing where your data comes from. And then we got down to institutional issues, how we can build ethics into the framework of the organization. And we talked about it really comes down to, because there is not a lot of laws that necessarily apply broadly to organizations. How do we become more ethical depends on the institution itself and how it builds that ethics into its process and procedures. And we sort of outlined that ethical response and ethical data fabrics and ethical handling of information is a strategic advantage. It can be built into the ESG. Perhaps in the future, it can be rated so consumers know which organizations are more ethically disposed as opposed to those who are not. And that can further the ecosystem. But we also got questions in the chat that questioned whether a capitalist society can prioritize ethics over profits and some of the challenges in those circumstances. And then we peeled the onion back a little bit more for financial institutions, which are highly regulated. And we discussed how the current frameworks for dealing with information can be applied to these new technologies and provide a guidepost on how to best manage this information in an ethical way.